Well, here we go. Finally, reviewing the winner of the Revue Tournament of Random Movies 3. Very fitting now that we have just gotten out of an election, because we're talking about one angry white man going through the mean streets of L.A. Michael Douglas in the film Falling Down. Troy is very prepared for this one, so we'll see what he thinks on a very horn-rimmed glasses edition of the Revue Review. I just want to go home.
Will you speak English? Welcome to the Revue, a show where two small-town dudes give your big, angry-for-no-reason opinions. I'm Troy to the max extreme.
I'm in a traffic jam, and I just can't take it anymore.
Today we are going over, finally,
Yes.
the Dawn of the Dead.
Did you watch it, Troy?
No, I didn't. I didn't have the time to watch it. So sorry, El Generico online. I guess I can't have my dessert because I haven't had my dinner yet.
Well, no, the stipulation was you have to watch it before you play Red Dead Redemption 2.
Which is probably a fair assessment, which I'll never play fucking Red Dead 2.
You'll never do either of them.
I'm gonna be a sad man sitting in my house. Anyway, we're going over Falling Down this eve.
Yes.
Or morning, whenever you're listening to this.
This one's going to be a good one because we both watched this.
You bet it is. It's going to be the best one ever.
Ever!
Best show we've ever done. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good one. Okay. Promises have been made.
Yep. We are
the money's been spent.
Simultaneously putting our hands on Bibles.
We're swearing.
We are swearing.
That's right. So yeah, both been watched. It's good. So before we get into Falling Down, the winner of our last tournament that we've done.
Yes.
We should get into maybe some news. Maybe happened
yeah.
You want to do some news, Joel?
You want to do news? Want to do news, Troy?
Yeah.
Want to do noise?
You got
want to do news?
You got news?
Want to do news? You got news?
Let's do some news. I got kind of Jack S for news. I got some right at the last minute here, but
okay. I got some nuggets.
All right.
Some nuggets.
Well, let's see what you think about this, JT. I got some remakes in the works coming down the pipeline.
Okay.
They're not for sure things yet.
Uh-oh.
But there's been rumors that there's going to be a Flash Gordon remake out in the winds. What was your take? Did you see the original Flash Gordon?
I don't believe I have. Heard the theme song. Good theme song.
It is a good theme song.
Can't kill that queen.
That's right. It's okay. The movie, I think you'd have to see it with the right crowd.
Yeah. To
really appreciate it, because if you watch it kind of just by yourself, you'd be like, yeah. I don't know what to make of this, really.
Yeah.
Is it trying to be campy? I know it's trying to be campy.
Yeah.
But, what angle are they going with it?
I've always heard the highlight of it is, Hawkman, die!
Yeah. So I saw this one with Duke Tritium, and, we both enjoyed it, but, I don't think I would have liked it if I didn't watch it with him.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm at.
Gotcha.
And I think if they go to remake it, would you be in favor of a remake?
I mean, I haven't seen the original, so I don't know if it's...
I guess you're right. I don't know if
From what I understand, it's campy enough where I guess it could be fun.
But I think it's just a product of its time.
Yeah.
If it come out now, it's kind of I don't know, I would think it'd be trying to redo, The Shadow, or a pulp hero now, where nobody really cares. And it was just like, hey, at this brief moment, it caught like cult status.
Yeah.
And doing a remake of it, I don't think anybody's gonna give a shit. It wouldn't have the charm, I guess, of the last one.
Gotcha.
It'd be vacant.
Yeah.
Like that Total Recall like remake that they did. Just a bright, shiny new coat of paint over empty husk of a charmless movie. I never saw that movie.
Wasn't terrible.
I heard it was fine. But I was like, no thanks. I don't want to see it. So there you go. Flash Gordon. Maybe a remake. Second one I got on my list, JT. Listen to this one.
Yes.
They're rethinking about doing H.G. Wells' The Time Machine.
Okay.
And this one has a few names already attached to it, which kind of perked my ears up a little bit.
Drop them on me.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Whoa.
And Andy Muschietti, who is doing the It Chapter 2. He's directing that bad boy.
Nice.
And so those two names come up with you with a little Google search with this movie.
All right.
There was a Guy Pearce movie that came out in like 92 or 2002.
Yeah.
Of this. And I vaguely remember seeing
Is that the one where like they go to like medieval times or something?
No, I think they only go to the future. Like he jumps into the future. Doesn't go into the past.
Trying to think. Yeah, because I think that the medieval times one is like Paul Walker or something is in it. I don't know.
I don't know what that.
I remember
movie
there
is
being
at
a
all.
movie called The Time Machine where it's like Paul Walker has to go back in medieval times to get his dad who invented the time machine or something.
What? Let me look this up. The Time Machine with Paul Walker.
I think it's Paul Walker. I don't think it's Mark Wahlberg. It's one of those two.
Looking it up. Is it Timeline?
No, it's Timeline.
Yeah, that's not it.
Okay.
The Time Machine, though, the one where a guy invents a time machine and just keeps jumping into the future.
Yeah.
I really liked. Have you ever read that book?
No.
It's really good, actually.
Nice.
It's like one of the actual like classics that I actually sat down and read that wasn't like an assignment.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it. And I think I remember vaguely seeing the Guy Pearce movie in like school. Like, but maybe I don't remember it all that well, so maybe it wasn't all that good. I don't remember. Anyway, I'm stoked for this only because I've read the source material and I liked it.
Yeah.
And he goes so far into the future that people are like Morlocks or whatever, and like monstrous people that are like cave dwellers.
Is it like that episode of Futurama where Fry and Doctor, like the one doctor, are like keep going so forward in time they end up going into the past?
Where time is just a cyclical loop.
Yeah.
And they just like creates again and they just stop right as where they left.
Yeah.
Yes, it's exactly like that.
Okay.
JT, I got some Marvel movie news, but this one is not yet in production.
Oh.
Marvel has announced that they are making an Eternals movie.
Okay.
I know we've thrown a little bit of news out there about this. I find this hard to believe that they're going forward with this movie.
What is the Eternals?
So, I'm not even really all that sure because I don't know too much about them. They are that kind of obscure of character that I couldn't even really give you a good definition of what they are.
Our next Marvel film is going to be this character Stan Lee wrote on a napkin once.
So, I vaguely know. They are like in Marvel's chronological history.
Yeah.
Way in the past,
Uh-oh.
there were these like alien races that like did experiments on people living on Earth, and it broke them into 3 sects, which is the regular people,
Yeah.
the underground I think they were the deviants, and they're like the monsters that live under the crust of the earth.
Yeah.
And then there's these Eternals, which are like godlike creatures. And the Eternals are apparently what they're going to be making this movie off of. So, like, these godlike creatures that, like, regular people conceived as gods.
Oh.
But they're not. They're just kind of just like another race of being.
Sweet. So this is just... They're just going to make this instead of Inhumans?
Probably. Yeah. So I don't really care for this at all.
I don't give a shit.
But apparently it's not already. It's going into production next year. So maybe it's going to be... It's going like kind of like late summer next year. But
yeah.
So it could still be pulled. But I have like no interest at all in this movie.
Sounds like Marvel's about to jump the shark.
Maybe. Or maybe it'll be the best thing I've ever seen. Who knows? They've got a pretty decent track record so far.
Hey, it's got to fall apart sooner or later, Troy.
Sooner or later.
And
that's
it
true.
Sounds like they're getting desperate now.
This is it. Last bit of news I have, speaking of desperate.
Yeah.
Jim Cameron is making those Avatar sequels.
Oh, God, yes.
Did you see the
they
titles?
Put out the titles. They all sound awful.
Awful. If you don't know what they are, I have them written down right here. Avatar 2.
Yes.
Its subtitle is The Way of the Water.
Oh, no.
Jimmy Cameron loves his water.
He does. He loves going to the Marinara Trench.
Avatar 3, subtitle, The Seed Bearer. The Seed Bearer.
There's gonna be a lot of fucking in this one.
Maybe a man spilling his seed. Number 4, Avatar 4, The Tolkien Rider. Tolkien Rider.
So it's gonna be a black dude on a motorcycle.
No. It'll be a large cat creature on a motorcycle at the very least.
Oh, man. J.R.R. Tolkien on a motorcycle.
Oh, my God. That'd be funny as hell. And Avatar 5, if you haven't forgotten, they're doing 4 more of these. Avatar 5, The Quest for Eywa. The Quest for Eywa. E-Y-W-A. I don't know how you say it.
I think it's like Awa.
Isn't
that like that's supposed to be like their big god or something, isn't it?
Eywa?
Yeah. Like it's that big tree that everything's connected to or some shit.
Eywa.
Yeah.
Eywa. Who cares? Can you even imagine more of these coming out at this point? You go so many years without none of them, and then
they're gonna go
back to back to back to back coming out. One a year.
Aren't they gonna try and do 2 in 1 year?
Are they? They're gonna Matrix Reloaded it?
I thought I heard they were gonna try and do 2 in 1 year.
Oh my God. I think that might have been something we just made up.
I think they're filming them all like back to back.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure we said that they should probably do them all in 1 year to get them all done and over with.
That could be the thing too.
Yeah. Anyway, sounds shitty, but that's the last bit of news I have.
And on a positive note, Troy, always good.
Oh man.
Got some news on that Kingsman 3, Troy.
Okay.
I know. Well, I wasn't there for the review for Kingsman: The Golden Circle.
Oh.
That was you and C Danger did that one.
Look out!
I hated it, but
I thought it was fine.
I thought it was absolute dog shit. But anyways, Taron Egerton came out and said that he will not be in Kingsman 3.
All right.
I know they kind of leave it where he's kind of moving on.
Yeah.
In the second one, so. Not a big surprise, but still, the movie that made him, and he is getting out of there.
Getting out of there. Yeah, I feel like they shouldn't do it if he's not in it.
Yeah.
Like he was like the star role. If they're trying to pass it off to Channing Tatum,
even though he didn't do shit in the second one.
No kidding.
He had like one fight scene, and then he was like, "Oh, I'm sick."
Turns out I'm gonna be laying down for the whole movie,
lay
and then
down,
show up in a funny hat.
Freeze me in a fucking thing.
Yep, that's right. Then he shows up in a weird hat at the end, and everyone's like, "What are you doing in that hat?" And that's the end.
You liked it. You liked it, Troy.
I didn't like his parts.
It was good.
Listen, I went back and rewatched some scenes of it, and I thought they were pretty fun.
Yeah, let's bring back a dead character by filling his head full of foam. That makes a lot of fucking
sense. I get
sense.
It breaks the universe. I understand it.
Let's put a bunch of fucking caulk in his head. That'll make him alive.
I get how it breaks the world. I get it. But a few of the fight scenes near the end were pretty rompous good time. Like when they fought to that Elton John song, you can't tell me that wasn't fun.
Yeah, but I can watch that on YouTube.
Guy got shoved into a meat grinder at the end to that Word Up remake.
Yeah, I can watch this shit on YouTube.
That's
I don't need to watch the whole fucking. I don't need to watch a whole fucking shitty movie where I'm watching a relationship I could care less about and dumb plot hole filled fucking devices where you're bringing people back to life by filling their head full of cotton candy. Movie fucking sucks.
I think we need to rewatch it.
After the shit you made me watch this week, Troy.
Easy, save it for the next.
We'll save it.
We'll save it for the next one.
We'll save it. Troy, we have a Breaking Bad news.
I just saw that.
Apparently there is a spin-off film in the works.
Okay.
That'll start shooting this month. And,
this month already?
Yeah.
Is this a telly movie or is it a big screen movie?
They're not sure yet whether it's going to be on AMC or if it's going to be in theaters. My guess is going to be on AMC because I guess they are preparing a bunch of TV movies for a certain character from The Walking Dead.
Oh.
Did you hear about this shit?
No, I didn't.
Oh, God. Okay. I'll just say it right now. So, the big thing from this past week is that Rick Grimes had his final episode on The Walking Dead.
I saw that news.
And they were all about like, oh, shit, man, he's going to die. Everyone tune in. And I guess the episode fucking sucks because I guess it's just him, like, he's on, like, this borderline suicide mission and he's just talking to flashbacks of, like, previous characters that died, but he doesn't talk to Carl or his wife. It's like a bunch of it's like the ones they could get.
Oh no!
Like I guess he has like a conversation with dead Sasha at one point.
It's like Sasha. Who cares?
Who gives a shit about Sasha? Those two. I don't even know if those two knew each other.
Did they ever talk?
I don't know. But yeah, so they just got all of the dead characters that could get back, so we got flashbacks of like these conversations he had.
All right.
And it ends with him blowing up a bridge, and then it looks like he died, and then they find that he was blown onto a hilltop where some people on a helicopter pick him up, and he's still alive.
Okay.
So this is all because AMC's planning on doing 3 TV movies. Like they're calling them the Rick Grimes trilogy of his further adventures away from the group.
Boo.
Yeah, I'm so glad I'm not watching The Walking Dead anymore.
Oh my god.
Sounds like absolute horse shit.
It sounds like a ratings grab to the nth degree.
Yeah.
What a cop out. Oh my god, if I were to still be in this, which I'm not, at this point I feel like I would be vaguely in it if I still watched it. And that happened at the end of that episode, I'd be like, fuck you.
Yeah. I just listened to a review of it and I said, fuck you.
They've done that with every major character that I've heard of.
Every time they're just like, gotta tune in, something big's gonna happen to this character. Tune in. Mm-hmm. Tune in. This is gonna be this person's last episode. You better tune in and watch what happens to him.
Right.
And then it's always, well, he's not dead yet. I'm like, oh, fuck you.
Yeah. And then they just go out in the most unceremonious way.
Yeah. And then just like, oh, and then now they're dead.
Yeah. And they don't even amp that episode up either. They're just like, we tricked him once. Good. Good on them.
Good. Troy.
Yeah.
People put out their sexiest man alive.
People.
Yeah.
Magazine?
People magazine.
People magazine. Extra.
right about people. Idris Elba.
Oh my.
Is the sexiest man alive.
Smoldering.
Break me off a piece of that.
Has he won before?
No, I don't think he has.
Oh.
Last year was that fucking country singer. What was his name? Because people kept putting out all those memes.
Trace Adkins?
No, the one from The Voice.
Oh, excuse me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever his name is.
Remember people putting out a bunch of fucking memes for like sexiest man alive? Like they were like doing some like sexiest man to just sit on a porch or some shit like I got a bunch of shit like that.
Sexiest man to sit on a porch. Classic.
Troy, a big fan of Shrek.
I just rewatched Shrek this last weekend.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Still good?
So yeah, it's still good.
Okay.
I think it holds up quite a bit. And it had a lot more adult jokes in it than I remember.
Yeah.
So I was like, how about it?
Would you be up for more Shrek?
There were more Shrek movies.
Yeah.
Each with depreciating value, I think, to me.
Well, guess who doesn't give a fuck? Illumination. Wait,
wasn't it DreamWorks that did them before?
Illumination now has the rights, I guess.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. They are revamping the Shrek and Puss in Boots universes.
And Puss in Boots.
Puss in Boots.
Okay. Blake Shelton was the guy.
Blake Shelton.
There we go. Porch sitter.
The porch sitter. So there you go.
Puss in Boots and Shrek.
Yeah. So we could get some possible more Shrek down the line.
When was Puss in Boots introduced? The second one?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was the second one. I think the second one is the best Shrek.
Which one? What happened in the second one?
It's the one where they go to far, far away, and they meet Fiona's parents.
I don't remember that one at all.
Oh, that one's so good.
Oh, Jesus.
It's really good.
Okay.
Like
right.
Shrek turns into a human for the third act.
Really? I don't remember this at all.
Oh man, you got to watch Shrek. Shrek 2 I think is better than the first Shrek.
I'm gonna see if it's streaming.
I love Shrek 2. Like the main villain is the fairy godmother.
Yeah, none of this is ringing a bell. Maybe I saw it when it came out, but that would have been the only time.
Oh man, Shrek 2 is so good.
Shrek 2, 2004. It's only got 3 stars.
I loved Shrek 2.
It's on HBO now.
Ooh, I might go back and watch it.
Or you can rent it on Amazon Prime if you want to pay money for it.
I ain't paying for shit. Troy!
Yes!
We saw The Rookie.
That's right.
As a addendum to our TV test pilot season.
Uh-huh.
Well, it must be doing pretty good so far because ABC just ordered a full season of The Rookie.
Okay.
Have you gone back to it at all?
Nope.
No, me neither.
No.
It looked good.
Yeah, it felt good while watching it.
It felt good.
The only ones that I've kept up on are ones that Chelsea will be watching in the background, the comedy ones.
Yeah.
And it's mostly just single parents. And
Has single parents won you over yet, Troy?
no, I'm just still not into it. I just can't, like, even peripherally, I'm just like, God, I just
Shut the fuck up.
And I Feel Bad every once in a while is on.
Yeah.
But that's it.
All right.
I think they fully given up on The one with the old people, Chelsea, whatever that one's called.
Oh, the cool kids or something.
Yeah, she's given up on that one completely.
Really? Not good.
I saw like 2 more episodes of it, and it's just the same as the first one.
Yeah.
It's not any worse, not any better.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, they don't have any more Charlie Day, like. Oh
my God!
We got a baby. Hey, come here.
Are you wearing shorts on your head? Yeah. You look like a chef.
A chef that cooks pants. Mace, you want to come here and say something?
Here, come say hi.
No, she just wants to destroy your comic
point at
book.
Batman's crotch.
Yep. Well, she heard about that comic.
Hi, do you want to say something? Say hi.
Say hi.
She's headbutting the microphone.
What does a doggy say? What's a doggy say?
Heavy breathing, trying to get to my
Heavy breathing,
What
grabbing
does
the
a kitty
microphone.
say? What does a kitty say? Nice, meow. What does a kitty say? Meow.
Great.
What does a snake say?
Oh.
Rattle.
Is that how that's how a snake flagellates.
There you go. There's a
There you go.
Batman.
And now she's gonna break it.
Oh well. That's just my life now. Things are broken.
I can't have any nice things. I'm a father. Speaking of Batman, Troy, I got some news on the Batman film that is currently being made. I guess
being made or may not being made.
I guess Matt Reeves and Ben Affleck are rumored to have very conflicting ideas of what the Batman movie should be.
They're both in still.
For now.
I figured at least both of them would not be making it anymore.
Yeah.
Night night, ladies.
Good night. They don't care about me. So there you go, Troy. This Batman movie might be
Dead in the water.
Trouble in Paradise.
Oh no.
We heard earlier in the year, Troy, that Chris Evans is out as Captain America.
Right. He's donezo.
He is donezo. And there might be someone else who's donezo. Benedict Cumberbatch said in an interview that
Cumby?
in Avengers 4, don't expect a comeback because he said, and I quote, "I'm dust."
Oh. Cumby. What are you
So
doing to
Cumby,
us?
maybe no more Doctor Strange in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
That's a shame. He was just getting good.
I know. Well,
Benny Cumby.
Benny Cumby.
What are you doing?
He did.
I'm upset by that. I'm upset by that a lot. He'd even put in like a 3 picture deal. Did he?
I don't
Oh, he was
know.
in Thor Ragnarok
Yeah.
for a minute.
Yeah.
So maybe-
Hot minute,
So maybe he did put in his 3 pictures and he's out.
probably.
Too busy doing the Grinch.
Max. Last bit of news, Troy. Brie Larson. She's currently playing Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
In the upcoming film.
Yeah.
Looks like she has her eyes set on a possible other badass chick.
Ooh.
She has made it known that she wants to play Samus Aran in a Metroid film somewhere down the line.
Okay. Sure. I don't think they've ever... I want to say they have been teasing a Metroid movie for all of my life. I don't...
All my life.
I don't know, honestly, if it would make a good movie. I've never played any of the games.
I haven't either. And a lot of it just seems to be like in like weird cyber tunnels and stuff.
Cyber tunnels. Yeah,
No.
I don't know about that. Like, good. Like, if you want to play it and it's a good script, sure, go all for. But like, until I see anything of it, I'm just like, I don't care about that so much.
Yeah.
It's a popular character. and it was a surprise that it turned out to be a woman underneath that armor.
I know that's supposed to be that's the big shocker of the first Metroid movie.
Yeah.
You take the helmet off and you're a girl.
It's a girl. Oh,
cooties.
Sick. Well, yeah, I mean that's cool. It was like this big, huge, cool, powerful character ended up being a woman the whole time, and it's like, oh, cool, what a twist! It's great. But then at the end, I'm like,
what? Tony the Tiger play this?
Yeah, that's right. An ascot and everything. But at the end of the day, I'm like, it doesn't do anything for me. I'm like, oh, you can turn into a ball and roll around.
You go.
I don't know.
You know, the Sonic movie's coming out. Sonic could do that.
And nobody cares about anybody who can turn into a ball. It just isn't.
it's just not a.
It just doesn't work.
Not a flattering feature.
No, who cares? You get kicked by kids.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
Just shoot me, son.
Kick me, boy.
Get me a good kick, boy. Gotta practice your soccer. And that's all my news, Troy.
All right.
I've got one trailer.
I've got none, but I have a suggestion for a channel that just go ahead.
Okay.
I'll just go after you because it's just an addendum.
Well, they put out a trailer for Secret Life of Pets 2.
Oh.
And you get to see the main character being played by Patton Oswalt, not Louis C.K. I wonder why.
Oh.
And it still looks fun. I liked the first Secret Life of Pets.
I never ended up seeing it.
It was fun. It was a fun movie.
All right.
And the trailer for this was just kind of like a scene from the movie, but it looked pretty fun. Like the main dog, I think his name is Max, actually.
Okay.
There's so many Max dogs in films. But he goes to the vet, and it's him talking to all of these like very mentally disturbed animals while he's in the vet.
Okay.
There's just like these two Siamese cats that just look out through a carrier and says, "We start fires."
All right.
So, I mean, it looked fun, and the first one was fun. So I'll probably end up seeing it because Molly loves this shit.
All right. All right. Fair enough. Maybe I'll see it. And Macy likes that shit. I don't know. The whole time she'll just be pointing and yelling at the screen going, "Ooh!" So that'd be fun for the audience, I guess.
Shut her up! It's my daughter, you asshole!
You better shut that baby up!
Fuck you, man!
Huck a full soda at him.
Why don't you come here and say to my face, motherfucker! In the middle of Secret Life of Pets 2.
I brought in a beer to this kid's movie.
Don't fucking touch me, man!
Well, I thought this was America.
I will fucking stab you!
The only thing I got is this YouTube channel called Aldo Jones.
Yeah.
And he just takes popular trailers that are out there and he recuts them and like does like funny inserts in all of them. Like he's obsessed with the Tobey Maguire emo Spider-Man. And so like he's in it a lot.
Yeah.
And like for instance, he did one for the Avengers Infinity War trailer.
Yeah.
Where instead of Thanos' head, it's the guy who owns Pawn Stars. Who's like, and it's all really well done too. Like,
yeah.
It's like very well like edited over top.
Really?
Yeah. So like check that out. Aldo Jones. They're called Aldo Jones Weird Trailers.
Okay.
And like I don't know how he hasn't got like a cease and desist or anything like that. But like
probably because it's so different because he has everything overlaid over it.
Yeah, and it's like sometimes it'll pause and go into like different shit, and like he like running jokes are like the Ben Affleck Batman reading a newspaper. I don't know where it originated because I didn't go back and watch a ton of them, but like there's that, and like the emo Spider-Man is in it, the Tobey Maguire, and he's like flipping his hair and all that shit. They're pretty good. They're pretty well done.
I might have to look into this. This sounds like fun.
Yeah, we'll watch one before the night's over.
Okay.
I'll throw it up on the screen.
Okay. Have a good laugh.
I have a good chuckle. But yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got for that.
All right, Troy. Well, there's no deaths.
Nope.
No deaths. Okay. Well, that means we jump into our Tournament Random Movie. Extra people.
Idris Elba, sexiest man, extra.
Break me off a piece of that Idris. Extra. Well, we had The Meg versus Street Fighter. Just so you won, Troy.
I can assume who won because I got in on the voting like kind of late in the game on
and
this one.
it's not even. It wasn't even a contest almost. Well, the Meg got knocked out, Troy.
Trounced.
Yeah, I know you were. That's like the one thing I think you said throughout this whole tournament is I just don't want to fucking watch the Meg.
Now we don't have to.
Now you don't have to. It is out. Street Fighter has taken the cake.
Good. I'm into it. It's like the one thing in this tournament that's gone my way so far.
Everyone is
plotting against me on this tournament.
like,
I'm convinced
fuck
of
Troy.
it. Really, anytime I tip my hat to any side, that side loses.
So you just shut up now.
Yeah, so now I'm not going to lean either way.
Thanks a lot, Internet. Now we'll never know what Troy votes.
Except I am glad that on this one, the Meg lost. So fuck the Meg, and everyone else agreed with me.
Well, with that being said, Troy, we've got another matchup this week. Jerry Maguire versus the Princess Bride.
Okay.
And,
it's a pretty decent matchup.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
2 love stories.
Yeah.
All right.
Both are very majestic.
Yes. Sure.
But with that, of course, we got our trivia.
Yeah.
8 questions, 3 facts from one movie, 3 facts from the other, and 2 that could be from either or.
Oh my.
Scattered throughout. Your job is to find out which fact goes to which film. Troy, you ready?
I am.
All right. Number 1. The main actor in this film was hit so hard during a scene that it shut down production for a day while he healed.
I'll say Princess Bride.
It is Princess Bride, Troy.
Oh, my.
Carrie Elwes got knocked the fuck out.
Andre, give it to him?
I think it might have been Manny Patinkin.
Oh, got it.
I don't know. They have some pretty drawn-out sword fights in this thing.
That's true.
Number 2, Troy. The love interests in this film were genuinely smitten with each other, and the main actor said that he found it hard to concentrate.
I'll also say The Princess Bride.
You are correct, Troy. It is The Princess Bride.
Okay.
That's right. Carrie Elwes and Robin Wright.
All right.
Were pretty fancy on each other.
Good job, Carrie.
Number 3, Troy.
Was
the script for this film was written over 3.5 years.
I'll say Jerry Maguire.
That was Jerry Maguire.
Okay.
I don't know why the fuck it took 3.5 years to write it, but
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even have I only have like a vague memory of what Jerry Maguire is even about. Like I know I've seen it.
Yeah.
But I don't
even think I've seen it.
I couldn't even tell you like really what happens in it. Because I don't think, even when I did see it, I was just kind of watching it and it was on in the room. Like, I wasn't really paying attention to it.
Yeah. I don't know.
But it was like when I was in high school. Like,
I think he's like a sports agent.
Yeah. And there's a Show Me the Money.
Yeah, there's Show Me the Money. I don't know.
Is that one You Had Me at Hello? Is that
Yeah, You
one?
Had Me at Hello.
There's a secret garden she hides.
When they had like those songs where they'd play dialogue from the film.
Oh yeah.
They had like that for this, and they had it for Titanic.
Yeah. What's the kid's name of this?
Ah, fuck.
He was like really hot when this movie came out.
Yeah.
And then he just disappeared into obscurity.
Yeah. I don't know.
Anyway, he says fucking it once.
Fact number 4, Troy.
Okay. Moving on.
2 of the actors in the film were having such a good time during production that while filming the last scene, they would make up reasons to get another take.
Is that a Cuba move?
Is that a Cuba move?
I'll say Princess Bride.
Troy, you're 4 for 4 so far.
Yes!
It's Princess Bride.
Yes.
There's a red line there. But no, that's Carrie Ellis and Robin Wright.
Okay.
They had one last scene to film for the movie, and they kept making up reasons to get another take.
All right.
Number 5, Troy. The main actress in this film didn't have enough money to withdraw any money from the bank when she accepted this role.
Jerry Maguire. I don't know.
It is Jerry Maguire. Renee
Okay.
Zellweger
Okay.
was dirt poor when she took this role.
Oh, okay.
Didn't even have enough money to take money out of her savings account.
Wow.
Then she accepted
Just
the role.
like a real person.
Now, yeah.
What's old Zellweger up to, huh?
I don't know. Making Bridget Jones's ass right now.
Good point.
Number 6? Yeah, number 6. An actor from this film has said this is his favorite role out of his entire career so far.
I'll go Princess Bride.
Troy, you are killing it.
Yes.
You're killing it so far.
Yes.
Mandy Patinkin as Inigo Montoya.
Uh-huh.
So that's his favorite role in his career so far.
Okay.
Number 7, Troy.
Okay.
Tom Hanks was the first person in mind for the lead role.
Tom Hanks, huh? Jerry Maguire.
It's Jerry Maguire, Troy.
As Jerry Maguire,
Yeah,
huh?
that's a weird fucking pick.
Yeah. But I couldn't go either way. I was like, would he replace Carrie Elwes?
I don't know. He was about
He was
Carrie Elwes's age.
Yeah, and he was younger and sprier, but he wasn't like that spry to be like a somewhat action hero. And he's not like, he doesn't have that dreamy look, you know, like Carrie Elwes does.
Who knows, Troy?
Oh, yeah, I don't.
Who knows? Last one, Troy. We'll see if you can knock it out the park.
All right.
In a 2012 interview, one of the actors in this film said that he gets approached by at least 2 or 3 strangers a day who quote his famous line.
I'll say Jerry Maguire.
Ah, Troy, Princess Bride.
Really?
Yes, the Mandy Patinkin as Inigo Montoya.
Okay. That makes sense. Because I was thinking...
Show me the money.
Show me the
That's why I
money.
put it in there, because it was definitely
God damn.
You could definitely go either way with it.
All right.
That's why I put 2012 interview, because I'm pretty sure he's probably said that before.
Yeah. Well, I was also thinking of the guy who plays Rex also in Toy Story.
Yeah.
What's his name? I can never remember the actor's name. But I would suspect people say inconceivable to him.
Oh, yeah.
Like any quotable line. So I'm like, it was just a crapshoot.
Yep.
Well, I fucked up. Okay?
You didn't
Fuck
get
me,
you didn't get
right?
a perfect one, Troy.
I suck. All right?
So there you go. Jerry Maguire versus the Princess Bride. Troy, do you have a favorite in this one? You want to let the people in?
I have no favorite. I can't play favoritism.
No, you can't.
No, I can't, and I won't. I want people to vote with their heart.
Yes.
Go to the
Vote
polls
with your heart.
and vote with your heart.
Vote with your heart.
Yeah,
Everybody.
that's right.
Well, Troy, next week we've got what is probably the most racist matchup we've ever had
Jesus. Okay.
on the Review Return Random Movies. It's Crazy Rich Asians versus White Men Can't Jump.
All right.
So that's for next week. But this week it's Jerry Maguire versus the Princess Bride. We'll see who wins
All right.
and moves on in the tournament.
Look for that poll on the tweeters.
On the tweeters. Get on them tweets.
On the tweeters. Well, does that put us at the main event, JT?
Troy, I believe this puts us at the main event.
Well, let me get right into it then.
You've been chomping the bit for this.
That's the bit, just being chomped. let me get my notes. Oh, fuck. I just
It just deleted everything that I wrote.
Oh, no, I just ate everything that I wrote down. Here we go. Debuting February 26, 1993.
Winterly.
With a budget of $25 million.
Ooh.
Domestically made $40.9 million.
Ooh, made that money back.
And did not premiere worldwide.
Ooh.
So it's only debuted domestically. So 40.9. It probably made its money, probably broke even.
Do you think this movie would make sense in another country?
No. Not really. It'd be like him complaining about all these little things, and that they would be like, but we're hungry.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is. That's a terrible example. But Rotten Tomatoes has this at 73%.
Pretty high for
It's pretty high.
Rotten Tomatoes.
Now listen to this. IMDb has it a 7.6 out of 10.
Okay.
Metacritic, because some of these were pretty similar, so I ran the gamut of different reviews here.
Yeah.
Except I didn't write one down. Anyway, Metacritic has at 56%.
Ooh, that's a bit
lower. Another reviewer called The Other View gave it 5 out of 5 stars.
Wow, that's pretty high.
And there's another one, I want to say it's maybe iTunes. It has it at a 4.4 out of 5.
Okay.
So,
that's pretty high.
that's fairly high. So yeah, it's kind of all over the place, wherever you look.
Yeah.
So
I'd say it's still pretty relatively high for the most part.
yeah. It came in number 37 domestically in 1993, and it ranked number 11 in rated R movies in 1993.
Okay.
Jumps up the scale there. And that's all the stats that I got for this one.
All right. Well, Troy, since you're so well studied on this film, what happened in Falling Down?
I would love to tell you, JT. I'd love to tell you and
Can't
the
wait.
audience.
I was going to tell you last week.
I've just been biting my tongue this whole time. Michael Douglas's character,
Yeah.
has a bit of a short fuse. He's at the end of his rope.
Yeah. Well, Bill defends Foster.
That's right. He in the beginning of the movie, he's just like everything's nagging at him. He's caught in traffic. His window can't roll down. His heat's broken in his car. There's just like people blaring the radio and just kids laughing at him on the school bus, and he's had enough.
Yep.
So he gets out of his car and says, "I'm going home."
Yeah.
And just walks over the grassy hill and just starts
Shoots JFK.
he crawls up on that grassy knoll and he shoots the president dead in his tracks. But he jumps up over this hill and he starts his trip straight home.
Yeah.
And on his way there, he gets more angry and angrier the farther he gets, because people are getting in his way and just like giving him just the worst day ever.
Yeah.
And the farther he gets, the more progressively violent he becomes.
Yes.
And when he finally gets home, and his whole trip there's a secondary plot with a police officer on his last day before retirement.
Yes.
Which I always love.
Yes.
And he's trying to crack down the case on who's doing all these crimes, and it leads him to they both are heading to eventually the same place.
Ooh.
And it's about right there where you find
showdown.
out that there's something odd going on about old defense. And then you find out near the end that maybe Michael Douglas's character is not always cracked up to be.
Oh, well, they kind of introduce it where you don't even know what he is.
Right. And the mystery is somewhat revealed at the end,
Yeah.
where it's well, we'll get there.
Okay.
But anyway, that's Falling Down.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Troy. So you stewed on this for 2 weeks.
Yes. Do we want to do any spoilers or anything? It came out in like 93.
Yeah, well, it's just my idea is like if we're reviewing something that's like more than a year old, people aren't gonna give a shit.
Got it. Ow, something bit me. All right. Let me open up my notes here. I had a good analogy, I think, while watching this movie.
Okay.
Is that falling down is like if Ron Livingston's character from Office Space had a bit of a violent streak instead of not caring.
Yeah.
So, like, but then it does change. Like, my opinion changes, like, once you find out more about it.
Yeah.
Because I've never seen this movie up until, to this last viewing last week.
Yeah.
And I thought it was, like, a guy just fed up with it. And he was taking all of his aggression out on the world around him. That's just dogging on him and nothing's going his way. And that's kind of the gist of it.
Yeah.
But there's more to it. And he's maybe got more of a screw loose than just like having a bad day. Mm-hmm. Would you want to elaborate on that a little bit more? Did I nail it?
Yeah, I think you're pretty much where I'm kind of am on it. Like I was kind of fascinated with it, so I even like went and I found like an interview. It's like a 2.5-minute long interview on YouTube they did with Michael Douglas. And if you are into the movie at all, I highly suggest checking it out because it's pretty interesting. Like he kind of goes into. I'll bring up some of the facts that from it in this, but he kind of goes into where like Defense is just kind of like he's kind of like a product of a older generation, even though he's like kind of like at this point like his late 30s, early 40s.
Yeah.
But like he's like a product of like maybe like the late 50s, early 60s, because even like the way he's dressed, he looks like like straight out of the 50s,
of a nuclear age or whatever it is. Yeah.
So it's like kind of like a man that's like on a pilgrimage through like a city that he's just or just like a culture that he's just not comfortable in or familiar with.
Sure. He didn't change with the times, and he's upset that that's the case.
Yeah. But I also do believe that there is some mental health stuff involved in this too.
Right. Also, he's a mild racist.
Yeah.
He's not full-blown racist.
No. Like you meet someone who's full blown racist in this,
and that's the only reason why I even say that, because like you would think a racist is a racist, and that's mostly the case, But in this, like, I don't know if his character, because this is my full note that I have right in the beginning. Falling Down was like Ron Livingston's character from Office Space if he had a real violent streak and maybe a bit of a racist, Because, like, the first stop that he has on his tirade, really, is this Korean grocery store in where he is trying to make a phone call, but he doesn't have enough change in his pocket to make the phone call.
Yeah.
So he goes in and asks him if he could break $1 to this Korean store owner. He's like, no, you got to buy something. Mm-hmm. And so he goes like, okay, I'll go buy a can of Coke. And then he, like, goes to buy it, and it's like 83 cents.
Yeah.
And he's like, 83 cents? I won't have enough for the phone call that I need to make, for the change I want. He's like, sorry, those are my prices. So he goes ape shit in the store.
Yeah.
He's like, this should only cost 50 cents.
Yeah.
And so the guy wants to beat, the Korean guy pretty much draws a bat on him
to,
like, whoop his ass. And then Michael Douglas pretty much shoves him down and threatens him with the bat and fucks up his store.
Just beats the shit out of everything.
And saying, like, what does this cost? And the guy's like, I don't know, like $1. He's like, speak English! Slow down and speak English! And I'm like, oh, this is problematic already. And then he's just crushing everything in there until he finally gets back to the can of Coke, and he's like, it's 50 cents. He's like, thank you. And he, like, opens the drawer for him, puts the $1 in there, and takes his change out, and then goes outside to make a phone call, mini bat in hand.
Yeah. I know, I like that where, like, as the story progresses, like, the more weapons he collects get more and more violent.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
he gets the bat, then he gets the butterfly knife, then he gets the bag of guns.
Yeah, which he has for a while.
Yeah.
But it's like all he does is take out those Uzis and just like opens fire on many things.
Yeah.
But yeah, like from there, he makes his quest to go home, and the whole time he's got like it looks like he's just downtrodden because he's got holes in his shoes that he's stuffing with newspaper.
Yeah.
So he doesn't like grind his feet all up. He just needs to sit down for a second, and while he does that, like 2 gang members come up and like assault him for being on their turf.
Yeah, that's what I like the most about this is like I think it'd be way easy to make him like the villain in this movie if he was the one like approaching these people and like getting in their face.
Right.
But in every situation he's the one that gets confronted.
Yeah.
Like in every situation, like with the store owner, it's like he just wants change, and the store owner's like, no, you had to buy something.
Yeah.
Where all he had to really do was just give him change for the dollar that he had.
Right.
And he's like, nope, you got to buy something. And yeah, and then it's the gang members where he's on their turf, and then the restaurant where he wants breakfast, even though it's like 3 minutes over the time limit that they stop serving breakfast.
Yeah.
It's like all these things. Like he. Don't get me wrong, he violently overreacts on every single thing that happens to him.
Yes, he does.
But he never looks for trouble. It's just that he comes across something that just doesn't allow him to have what he wants, and he just blows a gasket over it.
Yeah. And if it wasn't for like the ending of this and kind of like the family drama that ends up you find out more along the movie.
Yeah.
Would you consider this like a black comedy? Because at first I thought it kind of was.
Yeah, there are some moments where it is kind of funny. Like when he's in the restaurant and he's just like asking people like, how's your food? And he's like holding an Uzi up to him.
Yeah. Like the whole thing, like the whole time, like he wants like change for the dollar, and he's like, no, you got to buy something. So he just wrecks his store and ruins that guy's life.
Yeah.
Like, it's like a funny, ironic thing. Like once he gets his change back, he doesn't have enough to like pay for the phone call or whatever it is. So it's like it's kind of like a funny black comedy, kind of like how Super is, I guess, a little bit.
Yeah.
But once they start introducing like a family,
but then it makes you feel
element,
like shit when you're like slowly realizing that he might have mental.
Yeah. And you're like, oh god, no, this isn't really.
I was laughing at this guy that's really needs help.
Yeah, so it's kind of like it definitely is like a drama thriller.
Yeah,
kind of.
Yeah,
not really thriller, but I think that'd be the category they'd throw it in. Okay, my note on this was I thought he was a okay dude until he yelled at the Korean shop owner to speak English. I was like, oh god, maybe that's not right. I also like in this too that there's the Robert Duvall's character is that cop like on his last day.
Pendergast.
Yeah, before he retires. And like there's a lot of stuff going on with him too.
Yeah. I thought Pendergast was a way more interesting character than Defense was. I was really digging Robert Duvall in this.
Because I want to know what the heck is going on with his home life.
Yeah. Well, I took this as like Robert Duvall and Michael Douglas are kind of like the polar opposites of each other.
You mean, yeah.
Where like Michael Douglas is only seeing things through like what benefits him.
Right.
And like Robert Duvall is like super empathetic. Like he almost kind of bases a lot of his police work on being empathetic towards people to like de-escalate situations.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really interesting because like you're so used to like movies where
he's like the Rookie.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah. Like where like the detective is like always like hard-nosed and like just give me the goddamn information.
Right.
But like with Robert Duvall, like he's smiling throughout this entire movie.
Right.
He takes so much shit in stride. Like even like the scene when like they approach him with like a strippergram, and you can tell he's uncomfortable, but he's still like taking it in stride. Like, oh, you guys, you got me. You guys got me. It's even like a situation where it's like he's in a hurry too because they finally figured out where Defense was, and they have to get there. but he still stops me. He's like, "Oh man, you guys are too much." It's like, dude, you gotta be somewhere, and he's still like.
That made me kind of nervous, like antsy. That I'm like, you need to get there, and he's just like entertaining.
And he's just like kind of like leaning back, like, well, I can't just leave. I mean, they paid for this. I gotta kind of appreciate it. Right. So he's just like, oh, you guys, you got me. I love it. Like he's like that throughout the whole movie. Like he's such a fucking just nice dude.
Yeah, I wasn't into him at first because I was like, I kind of want to just progress with Michael Douglas's stuff.
Yeah,
and it wasn't until like maybe the second or third time like you saw Pendergrass again that I was like, okay, I'm kind of feeling this a little bit more.
Yeah,
and I liked the way that it was intersecting with each other because like. Not only was his last day before retirement, but he's also putting together this case that, like, it seemed nobody was listening to him at all, even though he had very good probable cause and, like, good clues to follow up on this whole string of violence that's tearing through the city, and everyone's like, shut up.
Well, you think of, like, L.A., like, there's so much of that shit that just goes on randomly. Like, even if there, like, is, like, small things that connect all of them together, like, no one's really putting it together. They're just like, here's a crazy person, here's a crazy person, here's a crazy person.
Yeah, but even so, like, the wife of Michael Douglas, or estranged wife, that you find out later, like, even she is, like, calls the cops and is like, I don't feel safe with this. And they're like, well, has he ever hit you? Well, no. It's like, you're fine.
But like, there's cops that do that shit, though.
But I know, I'm just saying I don't care if it happens in real life, but for the purpose of the movie, I'm just like, really? Like, that seems like you should follow up on that a little bit more. Like, if she's actually worried that, like, for her safety, and you're just like, you'll be fine. It's like, that is a shitty police officer that you don't really care about anybody's well-being.
But police officers, especially like in Los Angeles, are super fucking busy. Like they've got like calls out the ass. If you have this woman that's tying you up and says, you need to stay at my house all day because I think my husband is coming home, and then like you're there for hours on end and no one shows up, you're like, I got shit to do, lady. Like I can't be babysitting your house all fucking day. Like, I've got shit to do.
That's too bad. That's tax dollars. That's the people's tax dollars that work there.
Yeah.
Not protecting and serving.
So you want your tax dollars to go towards cops just staying at this woman's house because she thinks something's going to come.
Because she thinks she may be murdered. Yes, I do.
But I don't know. It's just I can see where they're coming from because it's like it's LA and like there's shit going on all the time. Like you get a call that there's a murder down the block, but yet this woman's like, I think my husband's coming home. And they're like, man, I ain't got time for this shit.
We also find out that the reason that Michael Douglas is going home is because it's his daughter's birthday.
Yeah.
And he needs to give her a present.
Yeah.
And that's who he was trying to call is to get a hold of his wife, estranged wife.
Yeah.
Because he wants to get a hold of her saying, hey, I'm coming home.
Yeah.
But you find out that maybe she doesn't want him to come home so much.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a bit of strife going on there.
Mm-hmm.
And I like how that opens up more as the movie goes on, too.
Yeah.
Obviously, we already said, like, she's calling a police to make sure, like, she's not murdered or whatever, so you know there's something going on there, even though he's never been violent before.
Yeah. On that interview that I watched with Michael Douglas, like, he says that he compares it a lot to the Odyssey.
Okay.
Whereas, like, in the Odyssey, like, Odysseus is really is considered, like, a hero throughout. Mm-hmm. And, like, his whole goal is to get back home, going through this strange land, but he's always put in the frame of a hero throughout, even though he's battling all these different things that are standing in his way of getting home. But in this, they don't try and frame him as a hero at all. Like, he has the same motivations. It's just that what he does is what he does, and you take it for what it is.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, it's definitely a twist on your expectations.
Yeah.
Because you kind of want to get behind him a few times.
Yeah.
Because you're like, yeah, it's just like mild injustices. that like he can't stand for anymore. And it's like little things here and there that a lot of people could probably get behind, but then there's like a few motivations that are like, oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
And that's what I like, that it plays on that. But even with Pendergrass, it plays on the expectations, because he's like a day away from retirement.
Oh yeah,
or
you
whatever.
expect him to be dead by the end of this,
and he never does.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to ruin the end of the movie, but like he doesn't die at the end.
I know. Like a lot of the interactions that Defense has in this, it's a lot of like pretty much everyone in this like asks for it in some way, but like he always takes it to that limit where it's like, okay, I think you went too far.
Mm-hmm.
Where like the shop owner is like, all you had to do was just give him change for $1. Like, why are you being such a dick?
Yeah.
But then it gets down to like, oh, now you're okay. Yeah, no, this is too far. like it's like I understand his frustration and his anger, but it's like then he pushes it just that extra level where you're like, oh fuck, now I don't even know what to think of you.
Right. And so the just a tease of what's coming out on Monday is like a movie called Noise, and we'll get into it farther down in the show, but little things like this that are picking away at a guy who wants to just kind of like release and get back at society is a reason I picked that movie.
Yeah. Okay.
If you wanted the loose connection.
Okay. We'll see if it
pump the brakes there, JT. But the only time that I felt like this Michael Douglas was a bit of a hero, is when he wanders into the army surplus store. Yeah. Where things take quite a bit of a turn. Mm-hmm. Do you want to go on with
like he wants to buy shoes because his are like totally fucked. Yeah. So he wants to buy some boots, and the owner of the army surplus store is the most homophobic, racist Nazi ever.
You're right.
Like he's
horny for racism.
Yeah, he is like swimming in a sea of N-bombs and F-bombs. Uh-huh. Like in every single thing he says to Michael Douglas.
Yes.
Like even a gay couple comes in, like almost a laughably stereotypical gay couple.
Yeah, one is like wearing a mesh tank top.
Yeah. Like I'm pretty sure one is barely wearing a shirt. But yeah, so he's just like mouthing off, just dropping F-bombs all over him, and they just, come on, Steve, let's get out of here, and shit like that. And then some cops come in to the surplus store, and the guy hides the Michael Douglas's bag of guns because he thinks that he's like a sympathizer because he's doing all this shit. He caught on to him like doing all this shit in
like to the Korean shop and like those two gangbangers, and like at this point too he's also like got the bag of guns and like shot up like this gang's car and all that.
Yeah, kind of so he thinks that he's like fighting against like minorities and shit because he fucked up that Korean dude's store, and he fucked up those like Mexican gangbangers. Right. So he's like, "You're for the cause, man! Hell yeah!" Yeah. And like up to this point, like you kind of think that he is kind of racist. Yeah. But then it's like he fights back in a way where it's like, well, I'm not you. Right. Like you kind of get the idea that, especially like for what he says at the end, like you still get the idea that he thinks what he's doing is just.
Yes. Yes. He's got his own motivations, and they're not racially charged. No. They just seem... There's just a few points where it's just like, when he does say things like, you need to speak English or something like that, it's like, if you're not like a racist, you wouldn't say that. But
well, I don't want myself to come off as a racist. But I'll say, like, for a person that is not used to that, it is frustrating. I think he doesn't hate this person because he's Korean. He's just frustrated that he doesn't understand him. Yeah. And I think that's...
But he does have a line that says, like, if you're in this country, you speak English.
Yeah, but that's more his frustration. It's not because he hates that he doesn't speak English. Okay. He wouldn't... If the dude had subtitles underneath him, I don't think he would mind. It's just a matter of... I think that's what this like one of the big messages in this is that like on surface value, Defense is a terrible person.
Yeah.
And this movie tries to peel the layers back a little bit to show that where he does have flaws in his own character, you can see that he still operates with the best intentions. It's just that he's very flawed and very disturbed and needs help.
Yeah. And so then he finally meets a guy worse off than him.
Yeah.
This Nazi sympathizer piece of trash.
Yeah. And he's like confused that he would think that, because it's like he doesn't see himself like this.
No. Because the guy takes him to his back room and he's like, look at all this stuff. Look at this empty can of gas. It probably killed so many, derogatory word for Jews. And it's like, oh my God. And he just is like, why do you have this? And like, there's like Nazi uniforms in the back and all this shit.
Yep.
And then he comes out to tell him, he's like, I'm not like you. Fuck you. You're trash or whatever. And then that's when the Nazi like comes against him and like starts beating the shit out of him and stuff. And is gonna kill him.
Yeah.
And like, but did you see the point where he's like, he's got Michael Douglas like pinned up against like a table and he's behind him and he's like, you're gonna take this shit or something?
Yeah, I did get like the idea that he was gonna rape him.
Yeah.
Because like he said like, you're gonna go to prison. This is what it feels like to get in a prison.
Yeah. Like I can't remember it right perfectly, but like it felt like it was like weird sexual repression that he was like aggressing onto Michael Douglas's character.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So like it was just kind of ironic that he was dropping those F-bombs on the gay
man.
dudes in the front of the store. It's like, but anyway, that guy meets his demise, or does he?
I think he's like the only person that or no, I guess the golf course guy dies too. But this is like the one guy that like he like willingly murders.
Yeah. And it's, but this is the one point where it's like, you're kind of back on like Michael Douglas, like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Like
he's a piece of shit.
Good. Yeah, he's a fucking horrible person. Good job. Like,
yeah.
Like, I wouldn't condone murder in real life, but it's a movie and like, good job, you off this dude or whatever.
Yeah.
So, it was also kind of like fitting too that like, I could see like this guy living now, you know, and like this current time.
No, yeah, I thought that was really interesting too, because
like a tiki torch or some shit.
when I was listening to that interview, like Michael Douglas pointed out where it's like he like almost kind of phrased it where like he thought this movie would only just kind of be like a film for its time, because it was like 92 where it was like things were like just starting to, like the culture was just starting to change, like
they filmed it during the LA riots.
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. So like things were definitely starting to change in that way, where like more people, minorities were starting to speak out, and like homosexuality and AIDS was being a really big thing around this time.
Yeah.
So it's like he kind of like phrased it where it's like, oh, I kind of see this as a kind of like a film for its time, because I feel like things are gonna change in the next 10 years or so. But like I almost see this movie as like it's like even more for a film for this time than it was then. Like I feel like things are ramped up a lot more now than they might have been in 92. Like
in some things, yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like this film is pretty poignant for today.
I do too.
Like, because, like, yeah, Michael Douglas, he defends, like, he has, like, a lot of problematic views, but that doesn't mean that people still don't have those views.
Right.
And it also doesn't mean he's a bad, like, do you think Defense is a bad person, in all after this is over? Mm-hmm. Do you think he's
it was a legit question.
Yeah. Like, when it's all said and done, do you think in his heart he was a bad person?
Yeah, I think I do at the end of the day.
Really?
Yeah. Just because he seemed to have like malintent even towards his like wife. And that's like a tipping point for me there, where it's like he was ready with a gun at the end of the movie with his wife and daughter. And I'm like, so like I feel like he legit loves his daughter and he legit loves his wife. But like when they would, I feel like if they never reciprocated that, he would get like, he would like turn to straight evil.
Yeah,
like eventually.
I mean, maybe. I mean, it's
hard
really up. Yeah, it's
his-
really up in the air because you don't know what he really intended to do on
Right.
that dock.
Yeah, and his head, and being that he's not mentally healthy either.
Yeah.
which I'm like, it's a hard judgment call.
Yeah,
But like at the end of the day, like I feel like he's pretty cognizant of what's going on.
yeah.
Um,
But see, like I don't know if that makes him evil. Like you,
well, I mean, evil is a strong word.
Yeah.
But I feel like he's like not a real great
yeah.
guy.
But you think like how many people use the word evil for everything that happens today? Like
Yeah.
everything is so black and white in this country. Like
Yeah.
you're either really good or really evil.
yeah,
So it's like it's so hard to like you would watch like a defense on the news and be like, oh, that guy's a piece of shit.
yeah,
Like not even knowing anything about his backstory, what led up to this, like
Right.
what he went through before this.
Uh-huh.
Like it's easy to just like see the image of him holding a gun next to his wife and daughter and be like, that's a piece of shit.
yeah,
But I think this movie tries to challenge you where it's like is he really a terrible person? Is he really like someone that can't be redeemed in any way, shape, or form? Is he just meant to? Should he just be killed? Should he have just been killed? Like in the very beginning of this movie, does he even deserve to live? Like,
that's a harder question.
but that's it. It challenges you where it's like, okay, so if he's pure evil, then why should he exist?
I don't know that existential question at all. But I like the more that comes out about him throughout the movie though, it makes me uneasy because I would say no, he's like a man on a mission, and because it's a movie, like I can take like a lot of like myself out of it, and like I don't care that he like shot up a whole like gangbanger's car or whatever. I'm like, yeah, I'm along for the ride for that one or whatever.
Yeah.
But like when it comes down to like he was not even going to work like in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
He
had a
was
briefcase
fired,
with a sandwich and an apple in it.
yeah, he was fired a month previous
Yeah.
or whatever time frame it was.
Mhm.
So like what was he doing all day the whole time? Because like he was staying with his mother at the time.
Yeah.
And she just assumed he was going to work.
Yeah.
And he wasn't. I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
And so, like, all those little details, like, you're getting, you don't get, like, the full-fledged story. You kind of have to piece it together yourself
Yeah.
and, like, what you think he's going on with him. But I really don't think it was anything really good. I think he may have been plotting something bad.
But the way the movie frames it, it feels like a lot of what he does is just spur of the moment. Like if he was plotting it, like why would he have been in the middle of rush hour traffic and just leave his car?
No, I agree. I'm not saying like he was plotting to do something that day and what he did on this movie is like what he was planning. I'm just saying like there's something fucked up about that where he's like he's going off to somewhere. I'm assuming because he worked for like the I don't know what it was, like some weapons facility.
Yeah, like he worked on missiles or something.
So like I can't imagine like what he was up to was any good.
But yeah, but the way they phrase it, it's like he says that he did stuff for the government, like he did all this shit. He worked for the American government. Well, all this shit he did for his country, and so it's like so they tossed me aside when they didn't need me anymore.
Yeah,
my wife divorced me. She's like doesn't want me to see my daughter. So it's like all of these like there's probably really good reasons for not having them. Like he's definitely mentally unstable enough where I'm pretty sure his work would fire him just for that.
Yeah.
And like the things that they show when he's like watching those home videos where like he just gets violent over the dumbest shit is like you can see why his wife like divorces him and then why she doesn't want him around their kid. But it's like he doesn't see it that way for himself. He just sees it as I did everything that I was taught to do growing up, like be a man that's a breadwinner for your family and always do this and always do that. And then I see myself as being the perfect embodiment of that, but yet I still lost it all. So
Yeah.
that's not fair.
Right.
And then that's him, like, now trying to take it all back, but he's taking it back in the wrong way.
Right.
And it's not for us to like it is wrong.
Right.
But it's not for us.
Yeah.
But like, he's just.
If you say it's not for us to decide, but
No, it's
before
not.
that,
No, it's not for us
you
to
ask
yeah.
me to decide if he's good or bad. I've been like, you fucker.
That's what this movie asks. It's like you see it through his eyes. Like, he sees himself as a wronged individual.
Yeah.
And it's up for us to be like, oh, so because he feels this way, that means he's irredeemable.
And, well, from movies that's come out before and after this, too, this type of character would be seen as the hero if it weren't for this other, like, back history that you get to, like, know from him throughout the movie.
Yeah.
You would be rooting for this character
Like,
type.
yeah, like, the only reason he's like the protagonist of this movie is because he's the one we're following through most of it.
Yeah, and he's not the worst person in it.
Yeah.
Like, there's, like, gang members in it that want to kill him right off the bat for just walking across a lawn.
Yeah.
And, like, a total racist prick asshole. And, like, there's people worse off than him. So there's points in this where you're like, yeah, you want to see him, like, conquer these people. But at the same time, like, he's also not great.
Yeah.
But, like, he's just the lesser of the two.
Yeah. But no, I think that's what makes him so interesting is that he is so in his own world. Like, he can't be persuaded that what he's doing is wrong because he only sees it from his perspective. And his perspective is, I just want to be at my daughter's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't care if what he does is too dangerous around her or his ex-wife or the people around him. He just wants to be there for his daughter's birthday.
Yeah.
That's all he sees, but everyone else around him sees that he's this fucking raving lunatic with a bag full of guns that's causing chaos in LA.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's all perspective. I mean,
yeah, I mean, sure. He's the hero in his own story.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why I love the character of Pendergast in this, because he is so empathetic and he almost kind of sees that. Like, he doesn't want to all right out kill defense because he knows what he's going through.
Right.
Because he has more than enough opportunity to kill him.
Uh-huh.
Even when he sees him holding that gun next to his family, he's like, you can see in his eyes where he's like, I should probably fucking kill him. Like, but no, he still tries to use his methods to de-escalate the situation because he knows what he's going through. He knows he sees what defense sees in himself, and he doesn't want to punish him for not understanding why people are acting the way they are around him.
Yeah. Not to derail this conversation a little bit, but, like, there's a little fun fact that I found that near the middle of the movie, there's a point where Michael Douglas's character is, like, kind of walking around downtown, and outside of a bank there's a man like protesting the bank because they didn't give him a loan because it was I have it written down. Economically viable to give him it was not economically viable to give him a loan.
Yeah.
Most likely because he was a black guy.
Yeah.
And he's outside protesting, but what's cool to see that they made sure to show this in the movie, he's dressed exactly the same as Michael Douglas's character.
Really? I forgot. Man, I didn't miss that.
Horn rim glasses. He's got the same shirt, pants, and tie as Michael Douglas. They don't draw any real attention to it.
Yeah.
But he's dressed exactly the same as him. And
That's
he's, like,
awesome.
causing a ruckus outside because he's also downtrodden.
Yeah.
Just like Michael Douglas's character is. So it's, like, another little cool thing that this movie throws in that's, like, you want to root for, like, the downtrodden person.
Yeah.
But, like, everyone's got, like, their demons with it as well.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, you gotta, like, take the, like, all that with
No,
a grain of salt. But, you were also bringing up, too, I can't remember exactly what you said, but you said, like, this movie was, like, a product of the time.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that because, like, I didn't look at when this movie came out until after I was doing research on it.
Yeah.
After the movie. Because I thought this movie came out... It felt like it came out in the 80s.
Yeah.
And it didn't. It came out in 93.
Yeah.
But, like, that it almost kind of shocked me a little bit. I was actually surprised to see it.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but maybe it's just because of, like, maybe the bit of homophobia in it and, like, the racism I felt like lived more in an 80s movie than it did the 90s movie. But then I was thinking, like, but Friends came out, and they have, like, I don't know, like, Friends came out in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
And that is, like, mild homophobia in it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they go full racist in it or anything like that. So it's
oh, man, dude. Homophobia has been around. Like, homophobia is, like, pretty prevalent up until, like, even the late... the late 2000s. Yeah. Like, it's just now getting to where it's, like...
Not a joke anymore.
Yeah, not a joke anymore.
And even then, like, still some people do, and it's, like, uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But, yeah, but then also, like, I also found out weird that Joel Schumacher directed this movie.
Yeah, I know. That really threw me off.
Because, like, all I know from him is the freaking Batman movies.
Yeah.
And, like, I didn't look into any of his other filmography until, like, I was looking into this, and I'm like, Joel Schumacher directed this? Like, it is nothing like those Batman movies at all.
No, yeah. And, like, in certain ways, it does get very animated for... I think the subject material, that's the one thing that throws me off from this, is that there are, like, scenes in this where it's like, I can see that they're trying to do the dark comedy thing with it, but there are scenes in this that go on kind of long that kind of take away from the subject where you're like, okay, we can kind of cut this a little shorter.
There was a few things where I was like, I need to get back to... Like, if it wasn't Pendergrass on screen or Michael Douglas, and it was kind of focusing maybe on, like, the wife a little bit, I was kind of like, I get this, just kind of get back to where I need the action here.
Even the stuff with Pendergrass' wife was a little out there, too.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
But I know, I can see why they did that.
Yeah, but even then, like, it has a payoff.
Yeah.
But I feel like they spend a lot of time on it.
Yeah. Well, I think they almost kind of, which I really like, is that they almost kind of show Pendergrast is very empathetic, and they also kind of show how that is a detriment to him too.
Yeah.
Where, like, he feels so beholden to this woman that he's flushing his career down that's the reason why he's retiring.
Yeah.
Is because she doesn't want him there anymore, and, like, because of this one thing that happened, where it's like he should be more mourning that as opposed to, well, I'll just say it because we're just spoiling it anyways. So, like, he pretty much married, like, his high school sweetheart, which was, like, I guess when she was in high school, like, she was, like, super hot, like, very, like, supposed to be, like, very skinny, very beautiful. Everyone wanted to be with her and stuff, and he ended up marrying her. And then he wanted to have kids, and she didn't, but he talked her into it, so she had a kid, and then they had a kid together. But then the kid died of, like, SIDS at, like, 2 years old, which was weird.
That was so sad.
Yeah.
Because he's, like, legit broken up about it. And there's one scene I was, like, legit, like, holding back tears.
Yeah. But after that, I don't think he gives himself enough, like, time to mourn that, because he thinks back to his wife, because now it's like he's waiting on her hand and foot because he feels bad, because now here he was, like, actually trying to think for himself, being like, I want to be a father, I want to father a child, and then that child dies, and now they have nothing to show for it, and now his wife is not this skinny, like, attractive woman anymore. She's, like, she has a little more weight on her, and she's, like, just kind of broken up about it altogether. So now he feels like, in a way, like, he broke her, and now he has to wait on her hand and foot, which means he has to pretty much retire from his job forcibly, which he can't get his pension because he's getting out way earlier than he's supposed to.
Yeah.
And he's moving to a place in Arizona that he fucking hates. All they fall for her because he feels for her and he wants to help her, where it's like you can see how that empathy goes both ways, where it's like, yes, you can be more understanding of people, but then it also causes you to put your needs aside for somebody else. And And I like that. That's why I think Pendergast is like probably the most interesting character in it.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% on that. Let me just check my notes real quick because we're approaching pretty much the end.
Yeah.
The movie all culminates. They all meet at the same place. And this is where the part where I thought, like, Pendergast is going to get shot up.
Yeah.
He never does.
No.
But they meet at a dock where Michael Douglas, like, kind of deducts that his wife and child have run off to because that's, like, his wife's favorite place.
Yeah. Why would you go there?
I have no idea. I thought it was the dumbest move ever. But anyway, he goes there, and they all meet up there, and it's kind of like a standoff.
Yeah.
And
I do like that it's Pendergast and it's defense that are facing off because I think he's like they set up Pendergast where it's like he's the only one that would allow defense to realize how fucked up he really is.
Yeah.
Because he's not going to go in guns blazing like everyone else has this entire day to him.
Right.
Like everyone is so confrontational to him, and Pendergast is the only one that approaches him being very understanding,
right.
But yet he still pulls a gun on him. That's when defense is like, "Oh, I'm the bad guy."
Yeah.
And then that's when he just like loses all hope.
Right.
Because everyone else has been so in his face all day, and he's always put himself as the hero in every situation, but now
right.
he's in a situation where he can't be the hero because the guy did legit try to help him, and he's still put in a situation where he's like, "Oh shit. Here's this guy that tried to help me, and I'm still put in a situation where he's pulling a gun on me. I must be the dickhead."
yeah. And I even like the twist where he goes to like he says he's got like another gun in his pocket or whatever like that.
Yeah, and he draws on him.
And it ends up being a squirt gun.
Yeah.
But like Robert Duvall shoots him anyway.
Yep.
Well, like he shoots him before he knows it's a squirt gun.
Yeah.
But like at the end, he fell down. He fell right off.
He fell down.
Fell right off the dock. The movie was true to its title. That's
There you
all I
go.
wanted to see at the end.
I just want to see a guy fall down.
But yeah, I thought it was a pretty fitting ending. I thought it was pretty well done.
Yep. And then Robert Duvall ends up going back into the police force because he realizes how good he was at his job.
Yeah.
Because I think they insinuate that after his daughter dies that he just kind of takes a desk job because he kind of loses.
Yeah.
He kind of loses the love of the job.
Right. And yeah, he's more of like a pencil pusher instead.
Yeah.
And he does tell off his wife in it.
Yeah. He does kind of stand up for himself a little bit more at the end.
Yeah. At first I thought she had like mental issues. Did you kind of get that vibe?
Maybe, but I think it could still be like they don't really tell you when the daughter died. I think she could still be kind of going through issues with that.
Maybe. But I didn't think she had like much sympathy for the daughter anyway. I thought that was like a whole thing.
Well, they don't really show a lot of her. Like every time they show her, she's on the phone with him, and she's she's just nagging on him to be home. I think most of that is just that she just can't be alone.
Well, I got that too, but there's a few like the early calls where he's like trying to talk her down on the phone. I thought she was like not mentally stable, like enough to be alone. And I'm like, man, like and that's why I immediately thought of him as super caring and sympathetic, that like his wife at home is like has this problem. I don't know why he's not there taking care of her at the point, but like he needs to bring in enough money to like support like his family because his wife's not healthy and all that kind of stuff. But I don't think that's the case. But that's the way it comes off of, at least to me, earlier in the movie.
Well, I think I just kind of like determined it as like she being home alone. It's her being left alone with her thoughts. And she wants someone else. She just wants him home so that she has something that can kind of calm her down.
Yeah.
Because it's probably pretty traumatic to lose a 2-year-old child.
Yeah, I would assume so.
So I think it's just her kind of like, it's just too much for her, and she just wants him home.
Yeah.
And I think Pendergast is so good at hiding how he really feels that he's just kind of bottling it up and like letting her vent vent to him and trying to take it all on himself.
Yeah.
Because a lot of that, like you when you realize what he's been through, all those smiles he has, like you kind of wonder like how much of that is through gritted teeth almost.
Yeah.
Where it's like this guy's been through a lot and he's still putting on this like smile where it's like, man, you look like you need to cry. Like you just need to fucking bawl your eyes out. Like you've been through too much shit, and you're like everyone he talks to, like he almost kind of takes their problems on himself.
Yeah.
In
or
a
at least
way.
go through a rampage through LA.
Yeah. Yeah, or it's like he's I don't know, he's just super interesting.
Right. But I also like too that it's like Michael Douglas and
Robert Duvall.
Thank you. I almost said Robert Redford. I knew that wasn't right. They're like almost exactly they could be the same character, but they handle things very differently.
Yeah.
Which is really
like
cool.
if Michael Douglas were to lose his daughter, he probably would have gone on a complete fucking rampage.
Mm-hmm. But instead, like, one keeps his cool and one like blows his top.
Yeah,
so that's kind of cool.
No, yeah. You see Michael Douglas lose his shit over the smallest things, and here's a guy that lost his daughter, and he's just like, okay, calm down,
Right.
let's figure this out.
Right. Well, you got anything else to say about Falling Down?
No, not really. Like, what's your grade for, since you've been stewing on it for so long? I'm really curious what you think.
Really enjoyed it. Like, this movie is considered like a classic at this point.
Yeah.
Maybe even a bit of a cult classic more, but I really enjoyed it, and stewing on it and actually having this conversation about it made me, I think, appreciate it even more.
Yeah.
I think I'd probably give it like an A-.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm pretty close to there with you. I'd give it a very, for me, I'd give it a very, very enthusiastic B+.
Yeah.
Because I thought, especially for like these times where it's so like people are so on one side or the other in terms of like politics and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like this was like a really good one to watch, where it's like you take someone who has these strong feelings and they act on them in the completely wrong way.
Yeah.
But it's like, I mean, you can kind of see how people can like have that mindset in a way,
Mm-hmm.
and like be driven to this kind of this mindset and this ideal and like what they do. Like it makes you like think about like if next time like you see like a terrible like attack that happens where it's like, okay, so but what drove that person to that? Like, are they really this terrible person the news is telling me, or did they go through some things? Did they just not get the right help they need? Did they just not meet the right person that could lead them on the right path? Like, was there potential to help them in some way?
Right.
Where like throughout this whole movie, like you just bob back and forth between, oh, he's an asshole, oh, well, maybe he's good, or maybe he just needs the right amount of help. Like you just never really know what to do with him.
Right.
And I think it like all that inner turmoil you have with yourself, I think makes this movie really interesting. And then Pendergrass is fucking awesome. I fucking love him in this. So yeah, like a very, very high B+ for me. I really enjoyed it.
Sweet deal. I'm glad we're on the same page with this.
Yeah.
We'll see what Monday has to bring.
We will see what Monday has to bring.
But before what Monday has to bring, JT, is there anything else you were into this last week?
Well, me and Molly saw the Queen biopic Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, okay.
In theaters. And the music's fun.
Oh boy.
The music's fun.
Oh boy.
You
know what? I heard
one of those fucking biopics that I don't even think they even fucking cared what the facts were.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I kind of heard that same thing, that like the music's great, but it's just a meh story.
I mean, they blatantly lie about Freddie Mercury's life in this. Because the whole big denouement of the whole movie is them playing at Live Aid.
Uh-huh.
And they make it where it's like, oh, we got to get together because Freddie's got AIDS and we got to play at Live Aid for him and shit. Freddie Mercury didn't find out he had AIDS until 3 years after Live Aid. And they also insinuated that Queen broke up because Freddie Mercury wanted to do his own solo career and shit. Freddie Mercury did have his solo career, but Queen never broke up. So they make this whole thing where it's like, you changed, Freddie. You're not one of us. And then they fucking, fuck you guys. I don't need you. I'm going to do my own solo career. None of that shit happened. Freddie Mercury just did an album without Queen once. And then he was like, this sucks. I'm going to go back with Queen. And they were like, okay. That's what really happened. But the whole movie frames it where it's like this big falling out. And then they all had to come together at Live Aid because they all found out Freddie had AIDS.
Oh, boy.
None of that shit fucking happened.
I don't know if I like that at all.
And they even, like, play it up where, like, they have this evil manager where...
What?
Yeah, they do, like, this whole evil manager thing where, like, he just keeps pressing Freddy to have these crazy parties, and that's what gets him to have AIDS and shit.
Oh, no, an AIDS party?
Like, yeah, it's so... Man, I gotta stop talking about it because I'm just gonna end up hating it the more I talk about it. But I'm like, I wasn't like bored. I didn't like super hate it. It's just that this movie just didn't give a fuck about facts, and it's one of those biopics that this always drives me insane. That these biopics where they have one scene and like 4 or 5 like very crucial moments for the band happen in this one scene.
Oh, okay.
Where it's like they're having dinner at Freddie's house and he's like, I'm just going to turn my name to Freddie Mercury. And then they get a phone call and it's like, hey, we got signed to a record label. Where it's like, bullshit, that fucking happened. That you decided to be Freddie Mercury the day you got the phone call that you guys got signed to a record label. Bull fucking shit.
Yeah.
Like, and this movie's chock full of those fucking scenes where it's like 3 or 4, like 2 or 3 or 4, like, influential things that happen to the band all take place on, like, a day. Where it's like, oh, I just wrote the melody. I just wrote the melody to Bohemian Rhapsody. Oh, now I'm proposing to my wife. Like, bull fucking shit. That happened the same fucking day. Like, I hate shit like that. Like, you know that didn't happen.
I was excited for this movie too. Oh,
yeah.
But like the more it comes out about it, I'm just like, maybe I'll just wait to go check it out.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'd say wait.
Chelsea really wanted to see it, but I just keep hearing that it's just meh, and I'm like, I don't want to go see a meh movie.
This is nowhere. I don't think this is anywhere near like the actual story of Queen and Freddie Mercury. Like it's just they took facts that people knew about him and they just put it in a very dramatic way, and then you give a fuck if it's true or not.
That bums me out because I just want to see the Sacha Baron Cohen one.
I know.
God damn.
This made me want to go and watch the fucking Live Aid concert video though, because they pretty much recreate the entire Live Aid concert.
I heard an interview with Rami Malek, and he said about the same thing. And he also said that was their first day of shooting was the Live Aid concert.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And I was like, damn. And so he's like, yeah, that took like a week to shoot or like 4 days or something like that.
Yeah.
But it was like the first thing they shot for the movie was that.
It's cool. I mean, it like the way they have it all laid out and stuff, it's cool. It's just, it's not real. Like, it's not Rami Malek's actual voice. It's not actually being played in front of thousands of people. So more or less just made me want to go and watch the actual concert. Thing. Yeah. Because the footage's out there. Like, it made me want to just watch that. And where I'm like, oh, I'm watching a very dramatic recreation of it with random shots of people that you meet throughout the movie going, oh, oh, oh. So, I mean, if you're a huge Queen fan, I think you're gonna have fun with it. Like, they do like some cool stuff where like they show how they kind of build some of their more famous songs. Like, you kind of see it like how the inception of it up to when they actually play it in concert. Like, some of that stuff's kind of fun.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I would wait on it.
Okay. I can do that.
There's also a really fun scene with Mike Myers in it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. I won't ruin it for anyone that wants to see the movie, but I'll tell you after we get done recording. Just remind me, because there's a really funny scene with him in it.
Writing it down. Mike Myers making a comeback.
And I saw the movie Skyscraper with Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah?
Look, it's dumb, but for some reason, these like shitty Dwayne Johnson action films, I have a fucking ball with them.
Okay.
Maybe it's just because I'm renting them and watching them, but every time I watch them, I'm like, God, that was fun.
All right.
This is even in its most dumb moments, I'm like, I'm still having fun.
Question.
Yeah.
Did you like it more than Bohemian Rhapsody?
I think I liked it more than Bohemian Rhapsody.
Ooh, look out. Look out, y'all.
Yeah, like
right.
this and Rampage were probably were pretty fun for what they were.
Okay.
And there's some dumb moments in both. But holy shit, like it's just not just take the fact that Dwayne Johnson is a superhuman person
Sure.
and you just go along with the ride.
All right.
Even with one leg, the man can do no wrong.
You can still kick ass.
Even more ass almost.
Oh, great.
That's it.
I haven't really been into much of anything this last week. Really.
Yeah.
I've been trying to read more Batman, so I've been reading more Batman, but
Gotcha.
that's just par for the course at this point, JT. I caught up with The Good Place. I'm current with it now.
Oh, sweet. So we can talk about it on a weekly basis. Hello.
That's right. So I'm still enjoying it.
Yeah.
Very good.
God, all that shit they're doing with like when they're like trying to like redeem their family members.
Yeah.
It's so good. The energy drink Axe body spray.
Oh my god.
Like, do you spray or do you drink it? Both.
Friggin' Donkey Doug is his
Donkey Doug's
dad.
his dad. Why just call him Dad? Because he's Donkey Doug.
You can call me Donkey Dad. Nah, just call me Donkey Doug. God, that was so good.
Pill Boy.
So yeah, I've been doing that, and I just watched Shrek this last weekend too.
All right.
So there you go, Shrek.
Now go watch Shrek 2.
Still fun.
Go watch Shrek 2.
All right, you got it. You know what there were points though where I'm like, yeah, I like Shrek and all that stuff, but like, you know what's fucking weird? I just wanted to see them sing that Smash Mouth song at the end. It's fucked up. I shouldn't like it, but I'm like, that's all I wanted to see, really. At one point, I'm like, I've had enough of this. Just go to the All-Star song or whatever it is. I can't remember which song it is, but
It's like an unbeliever.
yeah, I'm a believer. I was like, just sing that song, and then I'll be done with this. But maybe I'll check out Shrek 2. Macy seems to like... She responds to Shrek.
Shrek 2 is good. Shrek the Third, you can skip.
I have the opportunity to skip it. I will skip.
Yeah, do not watch Shrek the Third.
I
But
want
Shrek
to say
2
I've seen Shrek the Third, though.
It's not good.
I don't remember. Probably not.
I didn't even watch the fourth one.
I just remembered there was a fourth one when I looked up Shrek on IMDb for whatever reason.
No, Shrek 2. I would say Shrek 2 might be better than the first one.
Oh,
I would love your opinion on whether or not you think Shrek 2 is better.
I'll see if I can fit it in this weekend. But
Okay.
This weekend's pretty tight already, so
Gotcha.
just cut me some slack,
Gotcha.
all right?
Gotcha.
So that's the show this week, JT. I think we did a pretty good one.
Yeah.
I would say this is probably one of our more better conversations that we had. I felt
Yeah.
like we were on tonight,
I
baby.
think in terms of the Turn of Random Movies, I think this is my favorite one that we've had out of the three so far.
What were the other ones?
Tombstone and UHF.
Yes! I agree.
I think for me it goes right down the line. I think it's this one, and then it's Tombstone, then it's UHF.
You know what? I might flip a coin what I like more of Tombstone UHF.
Really?
UHF I'm surprised you don't like more than you do for whatever reason.
I don't know. I
had fun with it.
I mean, there's moments, but I think it's way too dumb at points.
I don't disagree with you, but there's some points in Tombstone where I just assumed I guess I thought it was going to be different. I guess. Anyway,
I just love Kurt Russell, brother. I just love Kurt Russell.
I know, I get it. All right, well, where can people talk to you about UHF? God damn.
Find me at Bucky Furman on Twitter, also Bucky Furman on Instagram, and he went at Bucky Furman on Snapchat. Troy.
Hey, talk to me at Troy to the Max on Twitter. If you want to hit us both up, you're more than welcome to do so at Revue Pod on Twitter. All of our new episodes are uploaded onto Facebook as well if you follow us on there. And you can listen to us on a multitude of platforms such as Revue Pod at podbean.com.
Podbean.
Or you can listen to us on Stitcher, Spotify, Google Play, Google Podcast, iTunes. Listen, we're everywhere, babe.
Everywhere, Bob.
If you are an Apple user, I would appreciate if you would rate and review us on Apple. Because that seems to be the only output that reviews podcast for any sport of popularity. But it helps other people find the show.
Yes.
If you like it, pass it on to others, would you?
Yes.
Just tell them. Just go steal their phone and just subscribe to our
Subscribe,
podcast.
and then they'll wake up and be like, what is this bullshit I'm getting on Thursday mornings? Late Wednesday nights, Thursday mornings, I'm getting this bullshit.
It's
Like,
so
what is
weird.
this shit? And then they're like, oh, I'm going to fucking
Why is
listen to
there
this.
over 200 episodes of this downloaded to my phone?
What a fucking piece of shit.
And we also have a Gmail if you're inclined to write a long-formed essay. We'll read the
it.
whole goddamn
I want to use
thing.
this fucking mail screen.
We have a screen.
We got a screen
for
for
mail.
mail. We want to play it.
So email us at reviewpod@gmail.com.
Hey, Eric Olson, send us an email.
Yeah, Eric.
I saw him in the last show. He said he liked our review of Dawn of the Dead, even though you didn't see it.
You dirty dog, Eric, and you haven't emailed Eric.
Eric, you gotta email us.
in.
Gotta email us in, Eric.
Come on, what are you really doing with your life?
Yeah.
If you're not emailing in.
We want to hear from you.
So that's the show this week, JT. Don't forget to vote for the Tournament of Random Movies.
Yes. And
We
then
got a good one coming up.
yes, we have Jerry Maguire versus the Princess Bride.
Mhm.
And then on our Monday show,
Yes.
we're doing a film that Troy brought up to me called Noise.
That you've never seen.
I've never seen or even
Somehow-
heard of.
Somehow I've seen a movie that Joel hasn't seen.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to have a full story of our conversation about this leading into... Look, people, this isn't going to be a movie you've probably ever heard of,
Yeah.
but please tune in Monday because
Please,
I have a story about how this all came about,
Right.
and I was so befuddled by it, and just listen on Monday.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a crazy ride. Even if you've never seen this movie before, or even care about it, listen because it's gonna be entertaining.
Yeah.
I
Just
guarantee it's gonna be
please-
entertaining.
Just please tune in. It'll be a good time.
And then our next Thursday episode, we're planning on doing the new Bad Robot film Overlord, the crazy mad scientist Nazi World War II film,
Yeah.
put out there by Bad Robot. And as a addendum to that, for the next Thursday episode after that, I'll put a poll out this coming week to figure out which World War II film we'll be doing. I, of course, put a feeler out there on Twitter, and we got 2 suggestions, and I put my suggestion in there, and Troy has his suggestion, which we will get right now. So we'll have another poll out this week. The 2 suggestions I pulled from the people on Twitter is Saving Private Ryan, and Dinosaur Neil brought up a bunch of them, but I
Yeah.
pulled one that I was kind of interested in, Enemy at the Gates. I never saw that one before.
Enemy at the Gates. Okay.
And the one I picked, I decided to go super old school with it,
Okay.
and I took the 1970s classic, The Dirty Dozen.
Oh. Okay.
So I'm going that route. So Troy.
We have the okay. Well, what do we have? The 3. There?
So we have Enemy at the Gates,
Okay.
Saving Private Ryan, and The Dirty Dozen. Troy, what's your pick for a World War II film to watch?
So I was trying to nail one down, and I'm trying to nail one down that's not like a 3-hour epic.
Yeah.
Because
And even
all
this-
World
yeah.
War II movies
Even the Dirty
are.
Dozen was like almost 2.5 hours, where I'm like, that was like the that was like the shortest of the older epic ones I could find.
Okay, I have one.
Yes.
Das Boot.
Das Boot?
Das Boot.
Okay. So we'll have Das Boot.
For the title alone, that's it. Das Boot.
All right. So we have our four World War II films that we'll have in a poll, as well as our Turn Random Movies this week. The winner of that will be reviewed after our Overlord review, which will be next week.
Yeah.
So some World War II goodness.
Right.
You're here in November.
And don't forget, we have a leftover turkey episode this month,
Oh,
too.
yeah. I'll get the poll out for that next week,
All
so
right.
we can figure out what that is. I've got movies lined up for that, too.
Okay.
They are bad.
They usually are. I can't wait. We got a lot of stuff coming up for
A
November.
lot of fun stuff in November. And then December, look forward to it, because we got some spots lined out where we're going to try and fill in those gaps for what movies we should have watched in 2018.
Yeah. So we got a fun-packed rest of the year here.
Fun rest of the year. On top of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and Aquaman.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jam-packed.
Yeah. I'm going to have to find just a spot to watch Overlord, to be honest.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to. I want to have to try and do some convincing for Molly Pop to get her to go see it, even though she wants to see it.
This might be one where I go by myself. But we'll see. Okay, so that's going to do it for this show. Until next time, I've been Troy to the Max Extreme.
I am JT3K.
And we are off.